Good morning. Entire Los Angeles Police Department mourns the loss of 3 brave police officers in Baton Rouge. They were senselessly taken. I think it points out the dangers of polarized rhetoric that affects the weak-minded.
They talk about themselves.
I also want to talk a little bit about what the department has done in response to this, out of an abundance of caution because of the effect that the national conversation is having on folks that are either evil in intent or weak in their minds. We've increased our air support operations in order to add additional cover to police officers responding to calls for service. We've repurposed the 500 officers in Metropolitan Division and moved them away from their crime suppression task into a force protection task so that they can make sure their officers are safe as they go about their day-to-day operations. We've increased our staffing at communication divisions so they can screen calls to ensure that the calls that we get are legitimate and not intended to lure police officers into situations of danger. We have limited the amount of one-person vehicles that we deploy for response. As you know, the Los Angeles Police Department does not commonly deploy one-person cars, but in the instances where we do, we've limited that. And then we put the vast majority of the Los Angeles Police Department in uniform, not only as a state of preparedness, but also as a symbol of support for our brothers in blue and sisters in blue throughout the nation. It's a sad time in law enforcement when brave men and women are targeted merely for the profession that they choose and the manner in which they conduct their business, which is honorable. A couple of incidents I want to talk about that occurred over the past week. I'm not going to give my usual crime report because the mayor and I are doing a 6-month crime update on Friday, and I think that will suffice. This past Wednesday, I traveled with the mayor to Washington, D.C. and took part in the President's Community Policing and Criminal Justice Summit. It was attended by about 40 varied members who all got a chance to speak and listen to each other respectfully. There were political leaders, including the mayor of Los Angeles, as I just stated, the governor of Louisiana, who you have seen on the media since the shooting in Baton Rouge, including his police chief in Baton Rouge. The mayor of St. Paul was there. We had activists from not only from the Advancement Project, but from Black Lives Matter, the national chapters. We had protesters that had participated in not only the Minneapolis protests, but also the Baton Rouge protests. We had a number of police chiefs, including myself. We had a number of religious leaders, including Reverend Al Sharpton. We also had members from...
Bring in the clown.
We also had members from the President's 21st Century Summit, 21st Century Investigative Body on Community Policing. And we had about 4 hours of discussion with the President of the United States. Everybody was respectful. Everybody listened to others' point of view. Everybody took something away from it. I thought it was an excellent example of the fact that people can talk about this topic, that people don't have to be disrespectful in the way that they deal with the other stakeholders involved, that people can listen to other folks' ideas and take away something from it. I wish Los Angeles would learn that lesson.
Yeah, good point.
You are calling out, you're disrupting.
For the good of the country, I mean for the city.
Sir, you're disrupting the meeting, that's your first warning.
Sunday,
they're going to beat you up.
Sunday we had a peace summit in South Los Angeles. It was attended by members of the Church of Scientology.
Yeah, what about the Church of Scientology?
That's your warning.
Oh.
You
don't have a name.
It was attended by members of the Church of Scientology, members of the Nation of Islam, including Tony Mohammed. Danny Bakewell was there. Big Boy, an entertainment individual was there.
He's skinny now.
Snoop Dogg was there. Game was there. Trouble was there. as was members of the mayor's grid office and over 1,000 members of street gangs in the city of Los Angeles. We talked
And
about
our program
violence.
is to
We
go
talked,
against
That's your final warning, sir. If you speak out again, you're going to be asked to leave. Sorry, Chief.
so the message there was to stop violence. The message there was that our communities, particularly some of our communities, are far too violent, and that we cannot show that we value our own lives, then how do we expect others to value our lives? This is based upon what's happened over the last several years in the city of Los Angeles. One of the statistics that we used in the discussion here is that last year in 2015 there were over 1,100 people shot in the city of Los Angeles. Over 1,000 of those 1,100 were either black or brown young men shot by other black or brown young men.
Way to promote racism.
So, the message.
You just said last week that the crime rate went down.
That's your
Second warning.
warning, so now you need to leave.
No, that's my second warning.
You only
That's
get
my
one warning.
You just gave him two.
You get two more.
You just gave him two, though. You just gave him two.
We're gonna get two warnings.
Richard,
I think everyone
you
should
need to
get
leave.
two warnings.
You need to leave.
Getting another
You have
warning.
one warning, and the second time you're asked to leave.
No.
Well, he got
You
two.
need to leave the room.
I'll leave. Fuck you, Matt Johnson, and fuck you, Charlie Beck. I'll go back to the encampment down the street.
They got 6 cops following her out. Damn.
So this was a significant step in improving not only the relationships within between the Los Angeles Police Department and large portions of the African American community, but also at stopping the violence that plagues our community. You know, this is the true tragedy of Los Angeles is that we lose far too many young people, unfortunately primarily of color, to gang violence, and this is a great step forward in reducing that. You know, we have struggled with getting the message out because as our generations progress, they become further apart, and so these are folks that can directly address the individuals involved. So very, very positive outcome. I look forward to continuing this dialogue and helping these folks to get that message out. And it is their message. It's not my message. It's the same message that I often put out. But this is the message they came to me with. This is not what I told them to say. And I think that's part of the power of it. The mayor also attended. You know, he and I both believe in this coalition, and we think it's going to make a difference in Los Angeles. And I look forward to reporting that this has had an impact on community violence, and we are closely watching that to make sure that it does.
Chief, just to talk a little bit more about the statistics, because I don't think we can overstate the importance of what this can possibly mean in terms of lives lost in our city last year. So you mentioned 1,100, over 1,000 people of color shot last year. I believe we had 287 homicides last year.
83, but who's counting?
283. And 60% of those were gang related.
60% gang related. 42% of the victims were African American. 45% of the victims were Hispanic.
So, again, just to go back to the statistics, African Americans are 9% of the population of the city, at 42% of the gang homicides.
Well, there are 42% of the homicides, and 60% of those homicides are gang-related, and in the African American community, it skews even heavier towards
50% actually, right?
And that's right at 50%.
About 50%.
It's
Why don't you guys talk about what's really going on in these communities? Huh? How these communities are impoverished. Huh? Why don't you talk about how much money you take from communities?
Continue to speak out, you're going to be asked to leave this.
Yeah, we already know how you operate, Matt.
So the numbers, and the numbers have been consistent over the years. You know, they vary by a point or two, but but in last year, my recollection is, and I don't have the charts in front of me, but it was 42% African American, and in gang, as far as gang related, about 59%. But it's right at 60%, and that is very consistent in the Sea Los Angeles, has been for the past 5 years.
So in terms of saving lives, this can have a very significant impact.
Huge impact. I mean, the reality is that that is the #1 cause of death in a large portion of our population, and that just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Blah, blah, blah,
And they shouldn't be killing us either.
Okay, sir, I've given you multiple warnings. It is now time for you to leave. Yes, you in the green hat, you know exactly who I'm talking to. You need to leave.
That's what he's saying.
What happened?
You need to leave the meeting.
Be careful, they'll hurt you.
Am I going to be arrested for not leaving? Would you answer that?
You have to leave in a timely manner.
Would you answer my question? Am I going to be arrested? Say yes or no.
Public meeting. We hope that won't happen.
The alternative is I can clear the room and we can continue this meeting without an audience.
You know,
You don't get to
okay,
do that for one
look.
person. That's not even in
Hey, when the Bloods and the Crips were having the war, they called the peace treaty. And the LAPD disrupted all the peace gatherings of the gang. Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's right.
Nobody don't like them no more.
The police wants gangs to, in fact, they encourage it.
Nobody in the community want to be a policeman no more. We so corrupt.
Killing each other because they want the black people
I
to
know
kill each other.
I know what I'm
They
talking
arrested them and they
about.
said
It
they
used to be
were
honorable.
coming.
Careful, Kay.
Black rioters.
It
They
used to be
lied.
honorable to be a
They
top
lied.
line.
Careful.
Because they don't, they
Calling the
don't,
meeting back to order.
they give one side guns and they spread lies.
Okay, five police, 5 cops followed him out the door.
Sorry to say, you really make me ashamed. You really do. I pray for you. Like you did when you sleep. I pray
Okay,
for
ma'am, now you have to leave the
The
meeting.
money ain't enough.
I'm asking you to leave the meeting.
I'm not leaving.
She didn't get a warning.
Yeah, she
She didn't get a warning.
No.
Ma'am, I'm asking you to leave
Why he
the
breaking the
meeting.
rules?
You continued speaking after I gave you multiple warnings.
That's horrible. That's a power trip.
She just got in here. Violation of our rights.
Ma'am,
Keep going.
She just got in. She hasn't been here 10 minutes kicking people out. She just got in.
Freedom of speech.
She has to leave now. His director has to leave. He has her surrounded by police. This is what he's doing.
She'll hurt you. Public meeting. Be careful. A public meeting that we're supposed to be out.
Mr. K is over 80 years old. They just kicked him out.
This is what you pay taxes to. Come in here and get kicked out for something.
ma'am, would you please leave the room so we can continue the
Come in
meeting?
here and straighten this up.
So they're surrounding her. Mr. Tut Hayes is walking out. Hopefully they won't brutalize
Okay, they're going to have to arrest me.
Don't do that. Hold on.
No, because I have a right to be on topic. And
She
it's
said
going
arrested.
all over every media, all over the world. Okay, I'm innocent. And they're trying to quell public dissent because they're lying on innocent people. They are filing suspicious activity reports. Boycott Walmart. This morning I went in there and they called the security on me and accused me of things I did not do. And you people are behind this. I know it. You're pawns. This is the Illuminati that are racist, that are continuing the genocide of our people. And you will not quiet this because you are evil. You are evil. And you know it. You're going to hell. So help me God in Jesus' name. And you will not stop this movement. Put it all over public media.
You don't leave on your own, you're going to be placed.
Yo, you will arrest me right now. It will be all over. It will be all over.
Everyone have a seat, please, and we're going to continue the meeting.
Commissioner, any other questions about the numbers?
No.
Very quickly, our deployment, we have 9,889 sworn personnel on payroll, 37 recruits in the academy who are not yet on payroll, so that pushes us to a little bit over 9,900. 2,707 civilian personnel with 570 civilian vacancies. We have about 400 reserves, 284 specialist volunteers, 60 chaplains, and just shy of 8,000 cadets in the program. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on this item?
Yes, sir. We have 15 cards. The first 3 speakers, Francis Jenkins, the Red Chief, and Paula Miner.
So watch it. If they're off top.